dress. It's a Godet dress, fitted, but with Godets. Can you imagine? Isn't that wonderful? Yes, yes. So, I hope everyone is fine. I hope you were fine. You were fine. So we are going to do pattern drafting and cutting for the what? For the sewing. It will not be today. Issues with my machine, so give me a minute to get everything we need and check myself as well, because I don't trust the internet. So if all that is done, we shall proceed. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, let me check something before we start. Give me a minute, please, please, please. If not for you, where will I be? All right, so we are here now. Oh, okay. I'm live now. So let's proceed. Okay, let's proceed. I said we are starting with the front pattern, with a back pattern. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so I always take away 2 inches. Those 2 inches are for zipper allowance. So I take the 2 inches away. This ruler is 2 inches. It's 2 inches, okay? So I'm going to rule out this line. So this is the shoulder line. All right. So you can say hi to me. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Yes, I come live often, so you can be notified when I come live. So from the shoulder line, we are going to measure our bust line. We measure our waistline. We measure our hip line on the back. Okay, so we extend those lines here as well. In the back, we don't need the under bust measurement. We shall not mark it. We only need the waist measurement. So I rule out these lines, as you can see. Let's mark them. Bust, waist, hip. Okay, so we are going to put in our neckline. I'll use a neckline of 3 by 3. It's 3 by 1.5 in the back. This is the back. So 3 by 1.5 in the back. Then I'll join it here like this. After that, I'm going to take my shoulder measurement, divide by 2. So my shoulder divide by 2 is that. And I'll come and take that same measurement on this line. So I'll also come up by 2 inches. To get the chest line, you can divide your bust measurement by 6 and you add 1.5 inches to get this line. Okay? So this line that I'm going to do. All So to get this line, you divide your shoulder, your bust measurement around bust by 6 plus 1.5 inches. Whatever you get is what you put on this line, okay? So after that, I'm going to divide this line by 2. Then after, I'm going to come and take my bust measurement, divide by 4. But before I do that, I'm going to come on my waist and come in by 1 inch. So you know our backs are not straight. So you can come in here by 1 inch because the back is slanting a bit also. So I will connect this to the neckline like this. So when I come here, I'm going to take my waist measurement, divide by 4. Okay. So my waist divide by 4 is 8.5. If you want to put a dot here, you can put it. If you don't want, it's still okay. You can make your dress dartless. All right. You can make it without a dot, or you can make it with a dot. It depends on what you want. All right. So I'll make it with a dot. So I'm going to measure from here. My nipple to nipple measurement divide by 2. So my nipple to nipple measurement divide by 2 is 3.5. So it means from this line, it's going to be 4.5. Okay. So I'll also mark here 4.5 inches, and I'll go on the hip line as well and mark 4.5 inches. Why we added 1 inch is because of this 1 inch we entered from the waistline. So I'm going to come down and make a straight line that joins to the hip. So I'm going to take a waist measurement of 1 inch, okay? A waist dart of 1 inch in the back. So it means I'm going to take 0.5 on one side and 0.5 on one side. And I'll come up from the hip line here by 2 inches, okay? Right, so this is our back waist. We have done a dart of 1 inch, and when we are doing the dart, we start it from the bust line. Okay, so I'm going to now take my waist measurement, divide by 4, which is 1, which is 8.5. I'll add this 1 inch, this 1 inch here, making it 9.5. And also you can add sewing allowance at this level of 0.5 or of 1 inch depending here. Okay, so it's your waist divided by 4 plus 1 inch for that plus 1 inch sewing allowance. All right, so now you're going to come on this line here, and take your bust divide by 4. My bust divide by 4 is 9.5 plus 1 inch sewing allowance, making it 10.5. I'll take here another 10.5. So I'm going to connect these points, and also I'm going to come on the hip line and take my hip measurement, divide by 4 plus 1 inch for sewing allowance, which makes it 12.25. All right, so I'm going to first connect this point to here. Okay, now I'm going to connect these points together. So from here, I'm going to take my pattern straight. It's going to be straight, okay? Even here as well. So now we are going to put the zipper allowance in the back. So for the zipper allowance, I'm going to use a zipper allowance of 1 inch. So I'm going to add 1 inch on these lines here 1 inch, here 1 inch. 1 inch it already falls here, and here you come from here, from the waist measurement, and go down by 8 inches, okay, and mark 1 inch, and then take straight, okay. So you're going to join these lines, okay. So when you reach here, you take everything straight to down. All right. So you join this point as well. So this is our zipper allowance. This is where you put your zipper on this line, okay. On this line, you install your zipper. So the front pattern is done. I'm going to cut the back pattern, rather. Sorry, not the front. The back pattern of our dress is done. All allowance included. If you want here, you can add the 0.5 inch allowance. If you don't want, like me, it's still okay. Me, I don't add sewing allowance in the armhole. I don't. But when I come here, I add the 0.5. I don't measure it. I use my eyes to measure. So okay. So our back pattern is done. I always tell you, it's not a guarantee that your pattern must look like someone else's pattern. Our bodies are different. It may look like another person's pattern, or it might not look. But either way, it's okay. All right? It's okay if it does not look like your neighbor's pattern. Another thing I was forgetting, I'm going to come here on this waist line and take off a dart of 1 inch, 0.5 going down and 0.5 coming up. This helps to reduce zipper bulging in the back, okay. So if you don't do this, sometimes there is bulging in the back, so it's better you do it. So I'm going to overlap it like this. And after, I'm going to close it with sealing tape. All right, so now this is our back. Now you can choose to straighten up this line. You see this dart, it has curved now, so I'm going to try to straighten it up. I'm going to make it straight. It becomes curved because we closed here. So I'm going to come here and make a straight line like this. So when I bring this line here, you'll see that it is now in another position, but still this is 1 inch. So we are just going to come here and join here like this, and then here also and join. So we are no longer using this dart, this one, we are now using this dart. Okay, so when you're making your dart or tracing it out, make sure you use the latter. All right, maybe I change color on it not to confuse me. Let me use another color. So I reallocated this dart as I told you. So this is the new dart. My God, this color is not working. So this is the, oh my God. I hope this works. This is the new dart. So then down it's going like this. So ignore the red one. We are using the last one. Okay, so our back pattern is done. Let's do the front. So we are cutting the front on fold. Hi Sarah, how are you? How is life? Thank you for watching. So we are going to do the front pattern. Okay, so for the front pattern as well, we are going to mark our shoulder line. This is the starting point. You can just bring this here. You can just bring this here and mark the lines. This is the chest line, bust line. Okay, I realized I have to measure either way because the pattern I improved it a bit. So let's start. We have to take our bust line, our under bust line, our waistline, our hip line. We shall do the same here. Bust line is here. I marked the wrong place. Under bust, waist, hip. Okay. So remember, in the back we did not measure the under bust line because it was not necessary. Okay, it was not necessary. So this is our bust line, our under bust, our waist, our hip line, and the rest is the length. So this is our shoulder line here. Now we are going to measure our neckline. The neckline, I'm going to use a neckline of 3 inches by 3 inches. So this is 3, and when you're going down, it's 3 as well. So you come and join this. After that, you measure your shoulder, divide by 2, and you come on this line as well and measure your shoulder, divide by 2. So I'll come up by 2 inches as I said, and then I make this line here. So this line is the chest line now. All right, so you can come up by 2, or you can come up by 1 inch, depending. That depends. Yeah, sometimes if you're going to put a sleeve, you can come up by 1. If you're not going to use a sleeve, you can come up by 2, or you can take your bust divide by 6 plus 1.5, as I told you already. So I'm going to divide my bust line. I'm going to take my nipple to nipple measurement. First, divide by 2. My nipple to nipple is 7, divide by 2 is 3.5. So I'll take the nipple to nipple on all the lines here. So So it's 3.5. Then I will make a straight line to join these lines. So now I'm going to take a waist dart of, can take a waist dart of 1 inch, 1.5, depending, 2 inches, but I'm going to, depending on how busty you are. If your bust is very big, you can take a wider waist dart. If your bust is small, you can take a smaller waist dart. So I'm going to take a waist dart of 2 inches. You can take up to 2.5. It's okay. Yep. So I'm going to come down from the bust line by 1 inch and come on the hip line and come up by 2 inches. So I'm going to connect these points together like this. All right. So after this, I'm going to measure my waist divide by 4. So my waist divide by 4 is 8.5. 8.5 is here. I'll add 2 inches. These 2 inches here, I'll add it. And again, add 1 inch as sewing allowance. You can use 0.5 sewing allowance, or you can use 1 inch, depending on you and how you sew. Okay? And how you sew. So our hip divide by 4 plus 1 inch, you also indicate. So you come on your bust and take your bust divide by 4. Bust divide by 4 plus 1 inch is 10.5. You come here on the chest line and take the bust divide by 4 plus 1 inch. The same measurement you use on the bust line is the same measurement you use on the waist line, on the chest line. Okay? So get that. Whatever you put here on the bust line, it is what you put on the chest line. So I'm going to divide this line by 2. Okay? And go in by 0.5 inches. After that, I'm going to connect this point to this point to this point. So this is how we do it. So I'll just join here like this. Okay. So I'm going to join my pattern. As I told you, it's not a must that your pattern must resemble another person's pattern. Don't stress if you followed everything right. It might look different. Now we are going to do what we call underbust tightening. To tighten the underbust, you're going to get your underbust measurement, divide by 4. So my underbust divide by 4, I get 8 inches. I hope. These days I've put on some weight. So my underbust is 33. I want to divide it by 4. 33 divided by 4 is what? 33 divided by 4 is 8.25. Okay. So 8.25 is here. Okay. This is 8.25. Let me use a small marker. My underbust divided by 4 is 8.25. All right. So 8.25 is right here. Okay. Then I'm going to also measure this. This here, this dart is 0.75. Okay. Now you can see that I have excess. This is too much excess on my dress. All right. So I want to take away this excess. So it's almost 2.25 inches. So I'm going to do underbust tightening. Let's take 2 inches. Okay. Let me just do to be sure. Okay, we have 8.25 plus this 0.75 plus sewing allowance of 1 inch. I had forgotten. Plus sewing allowance, that's the sewing allowance of 1 inch. Okay, so whatever we have here, I have 0.25. So you're going to divide 0.25 by 2, right? 0.25 divided by 2 is 0. What? I don't know. So whatever you get here, you divide it by 2. So after dividing it by 2, I didn't know the measurement, so I just did this to my measuring tape to know where it stops. So I'm going to add here and to add on this side of the dart. I hope you understood. I said you get your underbust divided by 4, you measure it. So my underbust divided by 4 is 8.25 inches, which is this. You replace this dart here, okay, which is this, okay. So you get your allowance, the sewing allowance, which is this. So this is the remainder. This remainder, I divide it by 2 on each side and put a part on each side. So I'm going to connect it back to the waistline. So this is what I do. This is called underbust tightening. It removes the excesses in the underbust area. Okay. So now I will come here. I will come here and do this, and also come here and do this. All right. So to make sure that what you have is the right thing, we are going to measure again. I don't need to prove, but I'm trying to prove. So I'm going to measure 8.25, which is this, okay? And I'll get this. This is 2 point something here. So I'll get that 2 point something, which is around this area. Then we have another 1 inch for sewing allowance. It's not exactly 1 inch, but the 1 inch is for sewing allowance. So we have tightened this place to fit very well. Okay, so I'm going to take a bust dart of 1 inch, of 2 inches. Yeah, so to get the bust dart, you get your front waist minus your back waist. So my front waist is 16, my back waist is 14. The difference is 2. So that 2, I'm taking it off from here, and I'll connect it to the apex or to the bust line on this nipple to nipple line. So this is a dart and this is a dart. Okay. So if you want, that's completely up to you. If you want, you can split this pattern into 2. I told you that's your choice. It's not mandate. Okay. It's easier, I think, to split. If not, you mark this dart and sew it on the dress and put this dart as well and not split. Okay. You cut your dress like this and indicate this dart and indicate this dart well and not split, but you can split as well. And you split this pattern into 2. So what you do, you come here and get the center of this. After getting the center, you connect it to here. After connecting it, After connecting this, you cut. You can take this up to down if you want to split your pattern. So let me split mine, okay? So now I'm going to cut the front part out. Sewing allowance already included, no need to add sewing allowance. When you reach here, leave some space, some allowance, then you will come back and correct it. And when you come here as well, add a sewing allowance of 0.5 inches. Then on the neckline, okay, so I'm going to cut this part here like this. And come and split this part here. So splitting here helps me to close the dart, okay? So it helps me to close that dart there. So as I told you, you can decide to, it's your choice. You can decide to not to split or to split, okay? So after this, I'm going to correct this pattern here. You see, this line is no longer matching this line. What we do, you get your ruler and connect the line back. You just do this and then cut off the excess. So you cut off this. So I'm going to divide my pattern, and when I'm cutting it, I'll add 0.5 sewing allowance in the center parts. Remember, we added sewing allowance this side, so here you have to add a sewing allowance, and on this side as well you add the sewing allowance. So you can add the sewing allowance of 0.5 to 1 inch depending on how you sew. Yeah, me, I add 0.5 because I feel it's enough for me, but there are people who don't know how to sew on a small sewing allowance. All right, so now we have our patterns. When you're sewing, make sure that these lines are in alignment. If not, you'll get issues with balance. Okay, so you have to make sure that these points align in your sewing, right? All right, so here we are, and I'm going to cut on my plastic top. Yes, this dress is not going to be very short like this. I'll make it longer. It will be longer than this. Wait, I had some pieces of bags that I didn't use last time. Hopefully they are enough, so I don't cut new. I'm going to cut 4 pieces. I need lining pieces and main fabric pieces. So I'm going to cut 4. Let me use this. I think it will be easier. So when you look at this pattern, it's short. It's shorter than what I want. So I'm going to make it long to the measurement I want. I want my goodness. I want my pattern to be, it's a short dress, but it's not as short as this. So I'm going to make it longer than this. Yeah. So I need around 40 inches. I think 40 is so long. Let me see. Let me see, let me see, let me see. Maybe I became taller. Let me first measure again. I'll use 39. 39 will be enough. Yeah, okay, 40. I'll use 40. So if you're sewing, if you're cutting your real fabric, you have to add hemming allowance. Maybe like 2 inches to cater for the hemming allowance and this side up if you didn't indicate where to stop. So I'm going to cut 40 inches. See, hallelujah, hallelujah. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to leave some space for the sewing allowance. Inside I said I need like 0.5, at least 0.5. Okay, so it means I have to leave some sewing allowance in between. So 40 inches was here. I'm going to rule a line, a straight line, to mark the place where I have to stop. Okay, so I'll just rule a line like this. That will be my guide where I'm supposed to stop while cutting. So I think I should turn it like this. It will be easier for me to cut. All right, so let's do the cutting. All right, so that part is done. She's calling at this time. Who decided to call me now? Oh my goodness. This one should just leave me and I finish my life. So we cut this part as well. Alright, this part is done as well. So we are going for the back parts. So this is plastic. It doesn't matter which grain you cut from, whether straight grain or cross grain, it doesn't matter. But if it's for real fabric, you cannot do this what I'm doing, because this now brings some stretch in some fabric. This is like a bias form of it. It has a degree, but I'm doing this because it's plastic. Yeah, I can do this because it does not have stretch anywhere. The sides are equal, have equal stretch, so it does not affect how the dress comes out. Okay, I hope you get what I'm saying. Most especially for woven fabrics, there are sides that stretch and there are sides maybe that have less stretch or don't stretch at all. So I want to measure 40 inches. I'll take 40 inches. 40 inches. So 40 inches is also there, so I'm going to make a line. I get difficult cutting from that side. I don't know why. It gives me a really hard time. Okay, so we are done with cutting the back. These are 2 pieces. Okay, so now on this front part I'm going to cut a godet. A godet is something like a triangular piece of fabric, and add it. Where should I add it from? From my waist to my hip. Okay. I add it from my waist, it will make my... So I'll add it from somewhere here. So feel this, feel like me too much. Let me see how many inches from the waist. So let me take it a little bit deep, like 6 inches. Okay. So I'm going to take it 6 inches from the waist. From the waist, then I'm going to measure how much I have from here to down. Okay. So from here to down is 17 inches. So I'm going to make a godet of 17 inches long. You can make it longer a little bit, just to be sure, because you need sewing allowance on it, and all. So my pattern is ready for sewing, but before, let me cut the godet. So I'm going to use this So I said I need a godet of 16 inches. How wide you want your godet to be, that is your business, okay? If you want it so wide, good for you. If you don't want it so wide, also good for you. So I'm going to take 17 inches plus 1 plus 1. That's 18 inches. The 2 inches are just in case, okay? So I'm going to take from here. This it's just disturbing me for nothing. Let me just remove it. It's not. All right. So let's take, I said 16 inches plus 1 plus 1. 1 up and 1 down. That's sewing allowance. Just in case. So 16 plus 1 plus 1 is 18. So 18, I'm going to take around my tape measuring 18 inches. Okay. So this is the 18 inches. If you like, this is not compulsory as well. If you like, you can make your godet longer, but make sure the side is 18 inches. Okay, so you can make it like this as well. Don't mind about this marker, you can rub it. So this godet is on fold. Don't get confused. It's on fold. So this is in the center. It's what's going to be in the center. So if you're not If you're going to use something small, you can cut from here like this and insert one piece. I've told you how wide you want your godet to be is your business, okay? So I'm going to cut, and you have to make sure that this, because this is the side that you're going to join to the fabric, you have to make sure it is okay, like 2 inches more than the measurement you need. So I'm going to cut. I told you cutting in this direction is hard for me, but I'll just turn my hand like this. It's not good, but what to do? Okay. I told you can also do this, depending. If you do this like this, the skirt is going to, the dress is going to be exactly the same size. Like the length will be the same, but this, if you do this, the godet length will be longer than the dress, which is still okay. Fashion is being creative, putting something extra, being different from another person. So it's not that it should be exactly like I've said. You can decide how you want yours to be. So I'm not going to sew this, but if in case you're going to sew, mind you, this is on fold, this is on fold, so you cut the center part on fold. Okay, so this is how it will be on my dress, and make sure you mark. It's going to be like this. There will be something here, okay, like this. All right, so I'm done with today's live. Thank you everyone who has watched the live. I love you so much. I'll keep this. I'll sew later. I have a lot of things to sew, but I'll sew them. Yeah, we've done a lot of videos without sewing, but inshallah, as the Muslim says, the Muslims say inshallah. I have this as well. I didn't sew it. It's also cut cotton. So I'm going to fold everything and seal it. I'll sew it later. So thank you everyone who has watched. I love you so much. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell. YouTube will notify you when I come live. And thank you for always watching my videos. I have a lot of videos on this channel. You can check them out. There are 300 something videos. They are more than that. So please subscribe, hit the notification bell. I love you so much. I can't say how much, but just know that I love you so much. Yes. And this comes to the end of our live. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Please like, subscribe, and comment and share.